Hi guys. Hi guys. Hi guys. No, this is really sad, kind of, and totally unplanned. I don't know how to do this. Welcome back to another episode of Told and Untold Stories. This is so not good. Wow. Guys, so it's good to be able to do this again. Like, I know my voice is not perfect yet, but it's a lot better than it was, and I am so excited to be able to shoot this again. I am really excited. You can see it and you can hear it. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Told and Untold Stories. I remain your girl Jadida Joshua, and if this is your first time here, then you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome, guys. On the previous two episodes that I posted earlier, I hope you've seen it, were told and untold stories, and they were both personal experiences that I shared. So on this episode, we're going to start sharing stories from you guys. Yes, stories that have started coming in, I will be sharing from this episode. So if you have not sent your story, please do well to send, and to everyone that has been sending theirs, thank you so much. Now, for those who do not really understand the idea of told and untold stories, the aim is simply what? To share our experiences, share our encounters, and hopefully help someone out there who is going through similar or the exact same situation. Like it says, the fact that you went through it, it means someone shouldn't have to suffer through it. Yes, so that's simply what we're trying to achieve through this entire series. So I'm going to start sharing the very first story that got to my DM. So this story is from a young lady, and I will just get straight to it. It's amazing how God answers prayers, even the most ridiculous ones. So here mine goes. The university I attended was more like a boarding secondary, so we had certain restrictions. Now, everybody that knows the university knows that it's supposed to be a place where we have this unlimited freedom to stay where we want to stay, freedom to move when you want to move. You can choose to attend lectures or not. Like there are definitely rules and regulations guiding the affairs within the university, but also you have a whole lot of freedom compared to the secondary school. So if she's saying that her university was like a boarding secondary school, you can imagine that there were a lot of restrictions. It was not your regular university freedom like that. Like there were a lot of restrictions. One day, my friends and I sought to obtain exit out of school. Every student had an exit booklet. It's more like a card we use to obtain permit from our student affairs officers. So because of the restrictions in movement, you can't even go outside the school premises till you have a permit, like an exit. That's some serious restrictions for university. But that was the situation they were in, and the reason for permit had to be stated too. And trust me, 90% of us had to lie, because most of us just wanted to go chill outside school for a bit. But it's obvious that wherever there are rules, people always try to find ways to break those rules. Those are that's human beings for you. So the fact that they needed an excuse, a lot of people will just end up lying, because we have to find a way to get what we want, right? I and my friends had never done this before, because the permit was supposed to be for a duration of 2 days, I think, for the weekend, to go and chill with our boyfriends. It was so funny. Obviously, it's funny. So guess what? We went under a tree and prayed to God that it would be signed. Wow. Like, we held hands and legit prayed. We even plotted on who would call in case they asked to call a guardian at home, because they do that as well. It's amazing how we want to do the most insane things, and the first thing we think about is God. Like, you literally want to do something that God is against, but the first person you think of to ask for help for you to achieve that thing is still God. Wow. When we got there, guys, we didn't have to plot nothing. Mr. Khan just signed that thing sharply. It was a miracle. Amidst all the prayer, racing hearts, plotting and all, we got our exit. Like bosses, we left school. That was one of the best weekends ever in our school days. So sometimes we don't even need to stress or worry too much about some things, guys. They just fall in place surprisingly. But I believe God did that because more. Thank you for sharing your story. It's amazing how amazing God is. Like, we do the most obscene things and we trust God to see us through them, and if it happens successfully, we legit thank God for making such things come to pass. I don't even know how it happens, how we're able to do that comfortably. One of the first lessons that I am glad and I can relate and confirm is the fact that God answers prayers. Like, that is not even a thing to argue. God legit answers prayers. Just pray. God answers prayers. That's that. But one lesson we need to learn is to try and be honest. Okay? Do not take this story word for word as it is and just take everything. Please, let's try and be honest. A lot of things are put in place for our own good. A lot of these rules and regulations are put in place for our own good, for our own safety and all. So we don't literally have to go out of our way to break them just so we feel good for a certain time. Like, imagine, thank God nothing bad happened, but imagine something terrible happened that weekend. Do you think this is how this story will be going? I'm definitely sure not. Like, I am sure this is not how we would have been telling the story. So thank God the weekend ended fine. No one got harmed. Nothing happened. Thank God for that. But please, let's learn to be honest, okay? Let's learn to be honest, and let's learn to have the fear of God, the guts that human beings have to actually pray to God to help them do things that they know He does not approve of. I don't know where we get that guts, that liver, that ginger. I don't know where we get it from. But my prayer is that we will have more liver, like we will have ginger to actually come to God to things that He approves of, that pleases Him, and try our possible best to stay away from things that does not glorify Him. Okay? Thank you so much for sharing this story. Next story. I'm one to trust people easily and completely. My sister will always complain of that, but I just didn't feel the need to doubt or question people I consider very close. A lot of us are like that, but I guess experience is usually the best teacher in this case. Last year, my cousin called and asked I accompany her somewhere she was to do a home service makeover. I was bored, so I said okay. Reaching there, she gave me a chewing gum to chew, which I quickly collected, but for some reason didn't throw in my mouth immediately. After about 30 minutes, she asked how far the chewing gum she gave me, and because I thought she wanted collecting it, I told her I had chewed it. I got tired of it and even thrown it away. There was this look on her face, but all she said was okay. Just before she rounded up on the makeup, she asked if I was okay, and I said yes. Few minutes later, she kept asking, and before I knew it, her client was asking too, and I was like, what are they seeing? Like, is there something that is making them ask? Because I'm perfectly fine. When she was done, she told me I'll have to leave alone as there's somewhere else her client is taking her to for a job, and she's not sure of the time she'll be done. I said okay and left. On entering a bus going to my destination, I brought out the chewing gum, threw it in my mouth and started chewing. Barely 15 minutes into throwing it in my mouth, I started feeling a very strong urge to have sex. I didn't understand. Never in my life have I ever felt like that. I was in a bus, and as each second passed, the feeling got only stronger and stronger. Before I knew it, I began to cry. My boss got to where I told them I'll stop, and I immediately dropped. By then, I was already wet, was confused, didn't know what to do or who to call. I then cited a Catholic church just beside where I was standing, and without thinking twice, I entered the church. I saw a shop in the church where they sell Bibles and other religious materials, and I asked if they had anointing oil. They did, so I bought one and quickly rushed inside the church. Never bought an anointing oil before. That was my first. I entered the auditorium and started to pray, cry, and rub the oil all over my body. In little or no time, I slept off there on the ground. A pat on the back by an elderly woman woke me up after about an hour when I checked the time, and she asked if I was okay. I said yes and stood up. Every single thing I had felt 2 hours ago was gone. There and then, it was just reconfirmed to me that God listens and answers prayer. But I was curious and wanted to know what brought about the whole thing. It wasn't normal to me because, like I said, I've never felt that way. It was like a force, supernatural force, and it was like a force, supernatural force, and all it kept saying was, have sex. I didn't think too much about it and went home. On getting to my house, I met my cousin in my house, and I was like, you didn't go for the job again? And she asked where I went to since. I told her I branched somewhere, then she said okay, but did I eat the gum she gave me? When she asked, I immediately could smell a foul play, and I told her yes. She said okay, if I say so. I asked why she asked, and she said she wanted to ask I give it to her if I had not eaten it. Then I said okay. She's one who is always on her phone, so I laid down, fixed my earpiece, but for some reason didn't play a song. A call then came into her phone and she picked. I could see her through my standing mirror. She looked at me first, then picked and told the person, who is most likely a woman because I hear her use the word ma, that I kept saying I took the chewing gum, but she can't see any effect of it on me already, that I am fine. I don't know what the woman said to her, but she kept saying she is sorry. There and then it all came to my head and I realized the chewing gum was the reason. Till today, I don't know what her intention was because I couldn't bring myself to confront her, but whatever it was, I know it was a wicked one. Obviously. Two most important lessons I got from it. You can't completely trust humans. Even the person you feel, nah, he or she can't do this to me, will do it to you. God has shown me this severally, and this time around, a case with a family member, not even just a friend, reconfirmed it to me. Secondly, when you pray and believe, God will come through. I am one who sometimes struggle with my faith, but at that time this thing happened. The time I felt the urge and all, my eyes sighted the church, and without a single doubt, I knew that all I needed to do was go into it and pray and I'll be okay. I didn't even doubt it, and indeed, God said, because you believe, it is done. It's amazing. And the last lesson, of course, don't accept things and just throw into your mouth anyhow. I hope my experience teaches someone something. Thank you. Thank you. She has obviously brought out the lessons. So if you have more lessons that you took from this story, just drop it in the comment section. Because right now I am so shaken. I don't even know how to break down the lessons from here. But surprisingly, both stories are telling us that God answers prayers. God is always with us. He always hears us, and He answers when we call to Him. If you are one that doubts the presence of God or doubts the love of God enough for you, like if you doubt that you're worthy enough for God to answer your prayer, these are instances that shows that what you can call to God for anything at any time, and He will answer you. All you have to do is just believe, and it is done. And then we still need to learn so many things. Like we need to really adjust a lot of things in our lives. Guys, please share with me in the comment section everything that you were able to learn from these two stories. And if you have more stories, please send it to any of these social media accounts, and we will be sure to share these stories right here so everyone could listen, learn, and just adjust their lives and just make the most out of it. Thank you so much for sharing, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you next episode.